Okay, everyone, I've had a lot of requests for learning how to debone chicken because I put on our website that I purchase bone-in chicken breast. So the first step here, you're going to want to find the flap for the skin, and you're going to want to remove the skin from the breast. You just kind of peel it back and prepare the breast for being cut out. And then you take a sharp knife, make sure that all of your utensils are clean. I've obviously been cutting chicken here, so you can see that that's on my cutting board and on my knife as well. You want to take your knife and go as close to the edge of the chicken, as close to the bone as possible without getting any of the fat in there. And you want to begin cutting and just cut around everything as much as you can. You're trying to get as much meat as you can on this breast so that you have it for later use in meals. Careful not to get your fingers, as there's some tough parts because of the tendons and bones that are in there. I actually usually use a separate cutting board for my meat and my vegetables, just so that there's no contamination. We're not necessarily a kosher household, but I just feel better about having a separate cutting board for that. So once you have it kind of off like that, I usually take my fingers and run it along on the inside just to detach the meat from there. And this is about how it should look. So set that off to the side, and you can see inside that there's still meat left. This is the tenderloin, and this is all good meat that you still want to remove the rest of this. So just take your knife and kind of slide it under. This part comes out a little bit easier than the other even. And then you're going to come to a point where it's kind of stuck on there, and this is the actual tendon that is in here. So you want to remove that, and then I usually cut this piece off like so. It's a little tough. And then set that aside. And as you can see, the rib is fairly clean from most of the meat. And I actually take this and set it aside in a bag, and I freeze that and use it later for chicken broth. I am going to show you guys one more here because there are actually two different breasts that come in a package. So again, you want to remove the skin, and then again start cutting around. This one's a little bit different. You can see that inside this is the tender and this is the breast, so it's separated so you don't have to cut all the way around. But I'll show you that there is a little bone in here that you have to kind of struggle with. So that's why I'm showing you these two different kinds here. Again, go around all of the fat so that you don't get any of the fat in here. And again, slide your finger down through the meat. And then here's the bone right here that I was talking about. It kind of pokes through. So I usually slide my finger underneath it, and it pops it out. And then this is the difficult part here is cutting through right in here to get as much meat as possible and still separate it from the fat. And this is about what that looks like. You can cut into here if you want. And then the tender is just right here on the end. So you just make another little slice. And again, you can just kind of slide it right out. And then cut the tendon portion of it off. And there you have it. And then I just put these chicken breast and chicken tenders into freezer bags, and I also put the freezer bag around or into freezer paper so that it saves the meat from getting freezer burnt. So that is how you debone a chicken.